Hey there, good evening everyone. How is it going? Lazy Ellie, it is so good to see you. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for popping in. How is everyone going today? We're back again, once again today with some more Guild Wars 2 content. And for the most part tonight, we're going to be doing some raid training on NA. We'll suss out exactly what wings we feel like doing, but in the meantime, what we're going to do first is go in and get our provisions tokens, because we're honestly super close to getting all of them that we need, which is very hype. Fourth, welcome in, mate. Morning. Sad thing I'm sick. Good thing is you can watch you. I'm so sorry to hear that you're sick. I hope you feel better soon, and hopefully you're not too unwell. Being sick sucks, so hope you feel better soon, mate, and thank you for popping in on your sick day. But yeah, so we'll just start off on EU, get all our ducks in a row here, and then we will move on to our NA account, which we haven't actually been in since I think last week. Next feature, how's it going? Great to see you. Hope you're also having a great day. Let's just bring this in here. Is this character? I don't think this character actually... No, this character isn't parked at anything. Tatugon, what is up? How's it going? And Darth, are you able to join for raids? If you're on NA, yes, we will be forming up for raids on there around a bit over an hour, about an hour 10, then we will start forming up for them. But if you're on NA, then that will be a good time. We're just starting off on our EU account now, just getting some shenanigans all done and dusted. And you woke up yesterday with a sore throat, fever, sweating, coughing, nose is totally blocked. Ugh, that sounds awful. Hopefully it's just a cold and you're able to get better soon, but yeah, that's never fun. Being sick sucks. Last year when Jess and I got back from Melbourne for my cousin's wedding, we both got deathly ill and it laid us out for the better part of 3 weeks. I sounded absolutely terrible. For a lot of the days I just couldn't stream at all. So I hope you feel better soon. Take all the rest that you need. Cool, let's grab that. Got a few of the weapons here we can get. So we're on 265. We need 300. Getting there. Getting closer and closer every day. I think I got the one in Black Citadel. I think. Oh, you were sick for 4 weeks, 3 weeks, start of November last year. It was awful as well. Oh, sorry you're sick again so soon after that. That's not enough time to be well. Okay. I do apologize in advance if I sort of like zone out and stare off to the middle distance a bit tonight. Had a shocking night's sleep last night. It's been like really, really hot in South Australia, so I did not sleep well. So if it seems like I glitch out, it's not the stream, it's because I've glitched out IRL. So yeah, once we start forming up for raids, then we'll post it in chat. Everyone can join on us in squad. It's going to be a good time. Make sure we get our members from our regular static in, then after that we'll just open up and it's first in, best dressed. I'll make sure we grab that. Nice, there we go. I just came back to Guild Wars 2, bought the latest 2 expansions, and you're overwhelmed. That's definitely understandable. How long were you gone? I forgot how to join meta trains and such. Meta trains, what I always recommend, Guild Wars 2 will pull up the event timers. The wiki has an event timers page, so make sure you bookmark it and do your stuff with that, because then they'll sort of tell you where squads are going to be at in the LFG, so you can sort of see what events are coming up. You know, there'll be a lot of people doing Octavine right now because that's just about to start. So yeah, you could go in there, go into Octavines and Heart of Thorns, go into Auric Basin, and there you go, you got people starting to form up there. And yeah, usual other meta trains, you might see a few popping off in Living World Season 4 in particular. There's a champs run in there, but the LFG is going to be your best friend. But if you just come back to Guild Wars 2, one thing I do recommend is just focusing on the story. It's a good way to ease yourself back into the game without being hideously overwhelmed. And how long were you away from Guild Wars 2 for? Let's take a look actually and see what is in the gem store, although we will be saving our gold for a bunch of giveaways at the end of this month. Orion's Champion Pack. There's a lot of stuff in that. Okay. It's always good to just see what's on special so I can keep it in mind, especially if there's some high value stuff. Ooh, comfortable reading chair. Very cute. Oh, it was before Soto came out. Okay, so about 2 years or so. But I can definitely understand why it's feeling a bit overwhelming. Got a few good skins. There's Suntouched Scythe. That's a fun skin. Would you go sword, and staff for Power Herald, and how much would you use staff? Yes, that's a very good option. The highest damage option is sword, and greatsword, but honestly, if you're running Power Herald, you should probably be running staff because you just bring insane amounts of break bar damage with Surge of the Mist, and you'll really only use it. You'll swap to it whenever there's a break bar that you really need to delete. Use Surge of the Mist, just kill time on it, might use the 2 skill and just auto attack, really, maybe just pop the 4 skill as a bit of extra healing for your group. It's better than nothing. Then as soon as you can, you'll swap back to sword from there. But yeah, sword, and staff is my preferred option for Power Herald as well. Sword is typically higher damage than greatsword as well. Greatsword, I think, may pull a little bit ahead on some very large hitboxes. But generally, you can just use sword. Plus, I think it just feels a little bit better to use, although greatsword has a very nice block on it as well. So you can't really go wrong with running both, but I approve of sword, and staff. Crystal Savant outfit. Okay. Right, so I think that is mostly... We might just grab another part character whilst we're here. We've got a few of them. Might as well make use of them. You just need it when QDPS is taken in Fractals and Strikes, so you try it. Great idea. Even with the upcoming nerfs, I still think Quickness Herald is going to be among the best boon providers in the game. It's just so easy to provide boons on Herald compared to so many other builds that, yeah, the damage isn't why you take Herald. It's the sheer amount of boons it provides, as well as the incredibly easy access to a wide boon radius. The fact you provide all your boons at 600 range is absolutely insane. So yes, even once Herald gets nerfed, it's still going to be good. Okay, so we got that one. Now we've got a few characters parked here. Let's just go grab these. I do need to park some of my characters that need to be leveled at Griffin Adventures, but that will probably be a different day because it's going to take me a little bit of time to do that. What we might also do... Oh, Spirit Shard, nice. Also one of the things I need for my legendaries. The legendaries are going to take a bit longer to get than we otherwise would think because we need to fund a whole bunch of giveaways. So make sure we actually purchase some stuff for that as well. Oh yeah, this character I think is stuck in a chest, which I actually need to move it and bring it back, which is a bit annoying. Yep, I mean, I can open this chest, but I'm literally stuck inside this chest. Oh, that's a long way. Oh, well, we may as well do it. Hey, Sven, how's it going? Welcome in. Yeah, let's go 6. And Darth Achilles, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that, mate. It's been a good few days here. We spent, actually most of yesterday, spent most of it re-cable managing both Jess and mine's desks in the study because it's been a few years since we've done it. There's been a lot of, I'm going to call it design by landfill, a lot of cables that have built up, a lot of cables that have come out of place. And yeah, just changes to how we utilize our setups as well. So yeah, we've gone through, basically re-cable managed a whole, basically from the ground up. Computer's over on the other side now. Mic arm's actually coming over from the other side, which is a bit weird. I find it a bit unsettling, but I'll get used to it. Desktops are much cleaner. We got a whole bunch of Velcro strips as well, actually, from Amazon. They were insanely good. Because, yeah, power boards became unmounted. The high strength sticky tape that we had that came off after about 3 years, so it was time. So I picked up some nice Velcro straps from Amazon, stuck them on the back, then put them underneath our desk, so they're all set there. I had a 10-port USB hub that was sitting on top of my desk, which was very convenient. But also, it meant there was like 10 lots of cables and dongles sitting on top of our desk. Not very aesthetic. So that's now taped, not taped, Velcro to the back of our desk, so I can't see it, which is very nice. And when we were recable managing Jess's desk, she had 2 4-port U-green USB hubs, and due to her current setup, she only actually needs one, so we were able to take one of those, and that's sort of our USB hub we have that, when we need to actually plug something in, we've got it. It's much more discreet than the 10-port one, as much as I love the 10-port one, it's fantastic. But yeah, so now that's much better. We've also it's been a long-standing thing that's been causing me issues. Whenever we stream, we record to an external hard drive, because then I'll edit it down, I'll trim it for shorts, I'll do all that stuff. I'll save it for editing, then I'll dispose of it later, because it's just like 50 gig per stream. Let's also go over to just chatting. We'll jump over to NA. And what would happen, because I had a whole bunch of effectively data going through that single USB hub, as well as my mouse and my keyboard, quite often what would happen, the mouse and keyboard would actually get intermittently very spotty, and no Velcro ties from the LTT store, although those would be very, very fun. Do really enjoy LTT's content. But yeah, basically recording the stream to that hard drive, which was running through a hub, which had everything on there, that was causing problems, and quite regularly our mouse was cutting out. So we have rejigged that now, so they're going through separate USB hubs. That should hopefully fix the issue. Let's just bring our audio back in. I have to do this every time. Here we go. Back over to display. Cool. We're back on our NA account now. In the meantime, while I keep chatting, we can get some parked characters. But yeah, so we've split everything out, so things are going to different USB hubs, so things appear to be more stable, which is good. Except for some reason, I don't know why, my computer's very fiddly when it comes to USBs. I had to basically just cycle through the USB ports on the 10-port hub until the hard drive ended up working again, because I don't know why. My computer can only really recognize it when it goes in a select few USB ports. I don't know why. It's probably something a fresh install of Windows can fix, but I'm not doing a fresh install of Windows unless I really need to. And yesterday was not one of those days. So we found that out. Then all of a sudden we had the dongle for our mouse, our 2.4 gigahertz dongle, which is normally what we use, and generally my preferred because it is more responsive, lower latency, all that jazz. No matter what USB port we put that in, the computer wouldn't register it. Or it did for a while, and then it didn't. And nothing I could do could fix it. That's when, no, we're just going to pair the mouse via Bluetooth. And it works. It's probably not as responsive or as accurate as it would be. But honestly, for what we need, it is fine. And then I have a free USB port as well. So yesterday was a big sort of tech declutter day. Oh wow, I really need to do Heart of Thorns metas on this account. This account is suffering a smidge. How are we doing for gold in this account? Not amazing, actually. Let's go get some more of these. So we have 24 characters now on our EU account and 25 on NA. So we're doing pretty well. One more on EU, then we'll be 25 and 25, 50 total. Doesn't even account for our second NA account. But yeah, kicking myself. Did not take before and after photos, but yes, things are looking much, much cleaner now, which is nice. And how are we doing for those? I've got 32 of these in the bank. I could be lazy and just convert them to gold, but it wouldn't actually be that much gold. Not really enough gold to be worth considering, really. Now, what we might also do, I wouldn't mind actually just sort of refreshing myself with some Condi Renegade, because that is kind of what I feel like playing tonight. Because the next build guide will be one of either Heal Druid or Heal Scourge, and I think I kind of have the footage I need for them. But I'm feeling Renegade. The thought of playing Renegade makes me happy, and it means everyone else can do healer and boon rolls, so that's good. And I'll have a look and see what raid wings we feel like doing as well. Alright, so where is Condi Renegade? Where does that live on this character? Him. Oh, build slot 1. Very fun. Well, literally just got a spear there. Okay, so I think on this one, if we go mace and axe, everything else there looks fine. Let's go remove Sigil of Earth. So I'm pretty sure this one... Oh, hang on, let's go customize. Where is it? Customize. Need that. So this one will be... I'm 90% sure this is Geomancy. And I'm pretty sure this is Earth and Doom. I'll check it in a bit. So let's go Earth. Okay. I think that's right. Also, I need to change that skin. Let's also fix our dyes. And just randomize until I'm not offended. Close. Something Condi Renegade. Oh, that one. That's actually, yeah, that's fine. Is what it is. Okay. Okay, let's also change that skin, because that skin ain't it, Chief. Dude, just the fractal skin, that's kind of the best one we've got. Because yeah, like we get the gold, red, and black trails. Hey Space, thank you for the randomized dyes. I knew that would come. Hey, thank you very much, Jess, everyone. Jess is amazing and has made lasagna and garlic bread. Thank you so very much. And yes, everyone, make sure you go check out Jess over on Twitch, Instagram, and over on her YouTube at Connor Carbonara. And look forward to a cozy gaming stream tomorrow. That is going to be brilliant. It's going to fuel us for raid training. Lasagna, garlic bread, life is good. Now I will try and not spill this. I make no promises. Okay, now let's go check the build actually. But actually check the build we're rocking. Yep, that is correct. Earth, Doom, Torment, Geomancy. Earth, Doom, Torment, Geomancy. I was 100% correct. I'm going to just pop some malign infusions in there. Because hey, like if we've got them, we may as well flaunt them. Alright, let's kind of see what we can do. And I need to... Somewhere I have written how much Razor Claw's Rage contributes when you're in a group. Because when you're on the DPS golem, your DPS will be lower than what you can actually produce in a fight. Because your squad's enhanced damage due to Razor Claw counts towards your DPS. But I can't remember how much it is. It's somewhere in the realm of 2 to 3k. I think it might be like 2.5k. But I've written that somewhere in a YouTube comment before. Although I think it has actually changed. I could probably find it by scrubbing through some current like rotation guides. Now for food and utility on this one, it's actually pretty simple. Meaty asparagus skewers and toxic tuning crystals. No, toxic focusing crystals. Oh well, we got those.
A deadly raid squad is a happy raid.
Just self. Give me all the boons. And let's just check my target. There we go. Yeah, just put snap target on. It just makes casting certain skills on the golem easier. Additional options, add conditions, all of them. Spawn. Alright. Now in our sleep deprived state, what can we do that our build I think is actually correct? Okay. And that was a little bit off, but it's fine.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
And I could optimize this a bit more by, is it? By using a skill, I use an auto attack between skills in Malix.
Fate, ordnance incoming.
So we're chilling about 37 so far. Bit slow on the uptake there. Okay, so 36.5, and then if we were to assume about 3k DPS, that pulls us up to about 39.5. So fractionally below 40, and I think its benchmark is about 42. So it's not too bad. Now, let's actually see. So we've got a rough idea of the rotation. But let's refine a few things. Now, we should be cancelling the aftercast of Searing Fissure as well. Kala is where I'm sort of freestyling it, so I need to refine this a bit. Okay, Demon Stance, like that's fine. I need to use Abyssal Blitz and Bolt once per loop. So what I should be doing, Ice Razor's Ire, then Weapon Swap, Searing Fissure, Echoing Eruption, so 2 then 3, Bombardment, Rage, Auto Attack Chain, Searing Fissure, that's 2, then Temporal Rift, 5, Auto Attacks, 2 again, Auto Attack Chain, Echoing Eruption, and swap to Demon Stance. We're sort of close, but I'm feeling like I'm not burning energy quick enough, so I do need to change that a bit. We're still going to mute on mic while we grab a bite of this delicious garlic bread. Sparse, what's up, mate? So sorry to hear you're having a day. I hope it improves. But yeah, what has been going on? I hope your day gets better. This is just DPS Golem here, so Condi Renegade. And yeah, once again, I apologize if I glitch out or zone out a few points. We're functioning off very little sleep here. It's been stupidly hot here. No one saw us spill that little bit. It's so weird. Our damage actually... Hang on. Our damage ramped so hard at the start. That is really weird for a Condi spec. That's actually super weird. Hang on. Let's just bring this up. Let's get the log. Cool, we got that. And get us the... There we go. Okay. There's summary. The graph. Outgoing damage. Okay, so there's ramped and sort of just stayed about the same. Whereas ours, it dipped quite a bit. Like ours ramped up pretty damn hard. Okay, so... Well, can we see? I think it was just the one person, was it, in there? Yep, it was. Going damage. So how much is it from Razor Claw's Rage? We'll figure it out. This dinner is amazing. Thank you, Jess. Let's go again. That ramp up there was pretty damn high.
Iron Legion.
R2 button is not always firing.
This is our fight. What'll you?
I might actually plug in our mouse so that can actually fully register. There's a few things there just were not firing, which feels odd. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so our issues are not entirely fixed. Oh well, one for me to fix later, I guess. Swap there.
Iron Legion. Warband, ordnance incoming.
Yeah, we can't use R2. Interesting. R2 is sometimes not firing. That's a mouse issue. Let's go remove. Respawn, okay. Let's see what we can do. Our dongle wasn't working before, but who's to say it won't just suddenly start working now? Where is the most free USB slot? It's going to be back here, isn't it? Just reach behind there to the stealthily hidden USB hub. Damn, my cable management, it was on point. So, again, with USBs, never goes in the first way. Never go in the second way. It'll always go in the third way. Okay. Will this actually work? Oh, it thinks there's something. Sugar Addict, how's it going? Welcome in. Amir, how are you going as well? Let's actually see. Razor Synapse, do you not think there's a mouse there? Okay, we're going to go over to just chatting, be right back. Actually, no, we'll literally just go on, be right back, and then we'll try and plug this in a different slot. And we are back. Okay. USB dongle now placed in a port at the back of our PC. Straight into the motherboard, so let's see what we can do. And Sugar, you got your Guardian to 80 last night. Congratulations, but now clueless what to do. I do need to make a video on what you should do once you reach 80. But if you finish the personal story, I suggest moving on to maybe some of Living World Season 1, continue the story, and dive into Heart of Thorns. The expansions are much higher quality content as well, compared to the core game, so you're in for just a better experience. As Harbinger difficult to play? You don't know what class to play in general? Generally, no, I don't think Harbinger is that difficult to play. Let's see, I do have a guide on it somewhere. Build guides. Harbinger, there we go. Yeah, I've got condition damage and Condi quickness Harbinger there. Power play is quite similarly. But yeah, it's not overall not that difficult to play. Necromancer in general is not a hugely difficult build to play. But yes, I do recommend Necromancer. It's probably my second favourite spec. Okay, now let's just see how that goes. Again, I really enjoy Necro.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
Okay, we got it a little bit better there.
Warband in position.
Cancelled a skill there, which isn't ideal. And the skills aren't quite firing as often as we want. Let's try and actually just clean some of the contacts on our mouse. And Connie Harmner's good because you're full range, you can literally fire out quickness. Yeah, it's quite an easy one to provide quickness on, especially if you load up on a bit of extra boon duration as well. So I'm trying to unlearn a bit of muscle memory with this from old times where I've practiced this build. So we're getting there.
Now you shall witness true ultimate power.
Iron Legion, put your best. Bring the thunder.
We're getting closer and closer to actually getting this right. Oh, so close. Although, why is that damage a bit lower? Oh well. On the run to complete LI and Essence for legendary sets. Nice! For Obsidian, what's the best way to get map completion? You're just going to have to do lantern runs in the map. So there'll be various Blishard pathing packs. I really like Lady Elsa's guides. Let's see, where is it? Pathing. Yeah, Lady Elsa's guides here. I find that very helpful. Then just follow that and you'll be done. But you do need quite a lot of map completions. Oh, no, didn't want to do that. Refresh. 6 on each map? Yeah, 6 on each map at least. You can do a lantern run. Exchange the item you get for it for some of the raw map currency, which you can then use to buy that quote-unquote time-gated map currency. So that can allow you to bypass a lot of the meta events, particularly Amnitas. I find that one was the one I was lacking quite a bit of. So yeah, you may end up doing more, but yeah, at bare minimum, you're going to need 6 map completions for the full set across each of the 3 maps. Okay. Also, I'm kind of curious how much we could simplify this. You know what? Yeah, let's actually simplify it. Only a bit disappointed that when you're making a character, you have to explore the map from the beginning. It makes it a bit tedious. That can be a bit annoying, like I totally get you. But yeah, it's just one of the ways Guild Wars 2 is structured, because you need, you know, map completions, typically for legendaries, and if you weren't required to complete it on another character, it would actually be really annoying to get them, because then you'd have to, yeah, it'd be a whole thing. There's a reason for it, but I get your annoyance. Let's see how much we can simplify this. You could go Spear. That was the build before Spear nerf. Yeah, that one is like super simple. Honestly, you can kind of just camp Spear. Why is my mic in a weird position? Oh, well, I'll sort that out later. I'm kind of curious to see what we can do if we just run Shiro. Obviously, we're going to lose some damage. If luckily you get 2 gifts for expiration for core maps. Yeah, that's very true. Okay, so that's that. I know this is going to be quite a bit lower damage, actually. Yeah, it's actually significantly lower.
We must rise and return to...
Now we can show this true ultimate power.
Are builds still viable if you don't have Spear? Oh yeah, absolutely it will be.
Signal the city.
See, this is only doing 35k now, which is lower than what we were doing on Carla, and Carla gets the benefit of having your damage actually ramped up when you're around allies. Excellent, what is up? And yeah, short bow max, max is a few percent below. Yes, not far below at all.
I demand that you release...
Yeah, the energy usage in Shiro is a bit jank, and there we actually flubbed our skill there. You don't have heavyweight legendary yet? No, we'll get that in the coming weeks. It's our last set that we're working on this account. So yeah, that was about 35. So now if we compare that to this, the regular build. The weapon, honestly, I might even just change the rotation a bit, because yeah, the timing to not cancel Ice Razor's Ire is super annoying. So I guess a Condi build Shiro doesn't really make sense in this build. Shiro kind of is passable. But it's like barely passable because, yeah, you do get like some extra damage on impossible odds. But yeah, it's not... You may as well run Carla and run Carla badly and you'll still do more damage if you do Shiro good. But it works on Core Rev. By that I mean it's the only thing Core Rev has access to. Nero, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Back to the mines we go. Thing is, we're just trying to unlearn a lot of muscle memory.
This is our fight. Bring the thunder.
There we go. Just use Heroic Command there to streamline some of our energy usage.
This is our fight.
See, that's already 38.2, and that actually gets elevated even more when you are with a group.
Put your best into it. This is our fight.
Oh, we did it again.
Signal the citadel.
Oh, that's gonna really make it jank. You know what? Let's just burn energy. See, what happened there is I weapon swapped too soon after I activated Ice Razor's Eye, so I cancelled the cast, and because I cancelled the cast means I don't get the empowered Razor Claw, so then it basically delayed the entire rotation. Yeah, the main struggle I'm dealing with is Ice Razor cancelled with weapon swap. But that's just bad muscle memory because I'm so used to the old rotation where it functioned differently. You can see the point there where we messed up. And yeah, honestly, we've probably only done about 6 rounds of the golem with the actual new rotation. And given I've literally got years of muscle memory to unlearn, let's get there.
Iron Legion, put your best in. The time is
There we go.
for reckoning.
Not as optimal. Oh. We almost missed our Razor Claw because I straight up forgot to use the skill. There we go. Oh, we messed that up. Not activating... Yeah, we moved on to Axe 5 rather than Razor Claw. I end up around 15 to 17k raise. That's not too bad. Thank you for the hydrate. Okay, like we will get this. Honestly, we just need to slow down. We're going too quick, that's the problem.
Iron Legion,
Let's just take a breather. Swap, Ice Razor, weapon swap, 2, 3, sit and bombardment.
What'll you call for?
5, 2, 5, 5, 4, 3. Wrong direction.
The time is at hand for a reckoning.
Swap slightly off, but we salvage.
What'll you?
And I'm using Heroic Command in the rotation because I'm just being too slow and not burning enough energy quick enough. There we go, we got the swap.
Bring the thunder.
And bad swap. In that case, we simply don't use a 3 or a 4, and it kind of works. So even there, we're up to 38.4 now. And Denzel, how much time do you estimate for a complete legendary set? Yeah, it depends on what type, and you're going for raid. Raid, you're going to be, raid, you're going to be just gate kept by the amount of legendary insights you have. So if I go Guild Wars 2 legendary armor, it depends entirely how quickly you can complete raids. Let's go down to raid set. So 150 insights for your first set, and you get a weekly cap of 33, assuming you complete the weekly Cantha Strikers achievement and all the challenge modes. So it'll take 5 weeks to get the required amount at its quickest. But if it's your first set and you're not full clearing every week, or you get kept by Chak Eggs. So your Chak Eggs you can do in 15 days because you can get 2 Chak Eggs per meta event, so that speeds it up a lot. So they're not really the gate. Honestly, I'd probably take the 5-week estimate and double it. So about 10 weeks, I think, a fairly concerted effort for raids, because you're probably not full clearing every week. And yeah, you need 150. So yeah, I'd say about 10 weeks. How to farm that much mats for full set? You farm gold and buy them. You don't farm the mats themselves, you farm gold. That's the trick. We'll just mute our mic and take our big old bite. And yeah, if you want to know the secrets to making gold, I've got 2 very good guides for you there, as well as others over on my YouTube channel. But yeah, if we compare that to legendary PvP armor, that's probably going to be close to 8 seasons. You can do 3 seasons quickest, but you have to do an insane amount of PvP. Normal players are probably going to finish that over 8 seasons, so it depends on how long seasons actually are, but it's way longer than 10 weeks. And world versus world, let's see. This depends also on how much world versus world you do. Here we go. Approximate time cost, 18 weeks minimum for world versus world. 24 weeks you want the triumphant set, and just blow that time out if you don't complete everything. Obsidian's harder in terms of gold. Yeah, Obsidian is way harder in terms of gold. But yeah, it can be done insanely quickly because it is kind of just all gold and you can farm it non-stop. Okay. Let's get that. I've got to reorganize my inventory. Can we push... can we push 39? We did 38.4 there. Let's go... Oh, damn, we start attacking. But yeah, personally, my favorite acquisition method is raids. I personally find them to be the lowest effort and sheer amount of, like, raw time. But to each their own. Okay.
Blood Legion, see it done.
There we go, it's falling into muscle memory.
Cast down the oppressors.
Oh, we almost went back in the old route.
See it done.
Push this even higher. Oh, thank you. Jess is absolutely amazing and has bought us an ice cream as well. Thank you so much.
The time is at hand for a reckoning.
Getting closer. Now the main trick here is going to be me not cancelling auto attack casts.
Bring the thunder.
38.5. Getting there, like that's comfortably in the 38s now, which is awesome. Oh, you didn't hit Mace 2 before switching to Spear? That wouldn't surprise me if I did that at some point. Coward, how are you going? Great to see you. Jessica, also wonderful Almond Magnum. Thank you so much. Let's make sure we finish up our dinner beforehand. Thank you. And yes, we'll take a look and see what we will end up doing today. I'm definitely rocking some Condi Ren today. I'm in a Condi Ren kind of mood. And yet, there's definitely a lot of refinement we can do there. So I'm reasonably happy with that. So I think on an actual encounter, you can add probably about 3k for... 3k onto our damage for Razor Claw when you're actually in a squad. I'm pretty sure is how it works. It's like 2 to 3k. I can't remember the exact number at the moment. Blasting out a wing 4 and some strikes actually sounds pretty good, I think. But beautiful. It's going to mute our mic while we have some more garlic bread. Connie Wrench, your favourite build forever. It's among my favourites as well. Actually, what I might do is be right back and then we'll finish it. And then we can enjoy our YouTube video in the meantime. We'll be back. And we are back. Thank you, everyone. And congratulations on the Fractal Savant as well. That is absolutely amazing. Hell yes. And Mesmer getting nerfed. Yeah, Mesmer's getting nerfed a bit. Rightfully so. Power Virtuoso in particular is absolutely cracked. And yeah, congratulations, Guru. That is absolutely amazing. And overall, even though a lot of damage is coming down, particularly on things like Mesmer, consequently Chronomancer, as well as on Herald, it's not really going to shift the balance overall that much. They're still going to be among the most played specs. But honestly, they're just so good to actually bring. And you're spot on. I mean, like, all content is cleared with every class at this point. Balance overall is decent with some minor outliers. Oh, yeah. And as long as the DPS build's pulling around about 40k or over, they're in the same sort of ballpark, and the difference is kind of meaningless. Because even though, like, Catalyst is the highest DPS bench at the moment, you see almost no one actually playing it. Oh, in Adelaide? Yes, we're in Adelaide. Let's go. Exchanges here. Let's get that. Kaz super hard to play. That's it. Whereas things like Herald and Chronomancer actually aren't that difficult to play. So yeah, you could honestly, you could give Catalyst a 40. I was going to say a 48k bench, but is it actually at 48k right now? Darth Winter raids start again. They'll start in about 5 minutes. It's actual benchmarks. I wasn't far off. Like, Power Catalyst right here is on a 47k bench at the moment. And you see no one playing it. Why? Because it's hard as hell to play. And let's go build Elementalist. Let's see, where is Power Catalyst? See, there we go. Skill floor, it's got 3 out of 5, so it's among the higher ones. Condi Tempest is ridiculously high. Power Quickness Catalyst, yeah, you don't see that around more. Look at that, 5 out of 5. Oh yeah, again, that gain nerfed to 42k, that is a bit much. It should probably be around about the 44, 45 mark, I think. It's hard to play in a blind game with all that AoE. You do learn to tune out that information somewhat. Alright, let's see. Who is actually coming tonight? Cowd, Exos, PD, Orca, and me. I try and be ready. Perfect. We'll just shoot an invite to our regular peeps. That should get us to 5 people, and then slots will be open after that. So let's go Exos. Invite to squad. We're already in a squad. Cowd or Cowd's wife's account? Let's go. Lose. They didn't RSVP. Invite to squad. And Sally, Mech, in your opinion, is very fun to play. Mech, I personally find quite fun to play as well. So we get PD in. So let's. So Exos is just doing that. Statics. Oh yeah, just some of our like regular members that have signed up for our raid training. So just like first slots go to them because they're the ones that have RSVP like well in advance. But there's still like slots open for everyone, so don't worry. There's gonna be 5 peeps here, so 5 slots open. Do you have any tips for a returning player for having a break since the release of PoF? Done all stories so far for all expansions, but feeling a bit overwhelmed at the moment. And so you've already done the first thing I recommend, which is doing all the story. It's a great way to ease yourself back into it. After that, I would probably say find yourself a goal to work towards. Legendary gear is probably a really good goal to work towards. Like you could start working towards any of the legendary trinkets here. That will keep you occupied for quite a while. It's a big goal, so you can get huge quality of life because you can use them on any characters. That's a great one to work towards. Legendary weapons as well, if you like the skin. Honestly, just any piece of legendary is good. Orca, what's up, mate? 5 minutes to get a shower? All good. That means you'll be right on time anyway, so no issues. But yeah, probably find yourself a goal to work towards, or find a game mode that you particularly enjoy and really dive into that. Like you could really enjoy fractals. So you could try and dive into fractals, get your fractal level to 100, start doing your tier 4 fractals and your CMs, start raking in that gold. You could try getting into raids and strikes, or world vs world, or PvP. Whichever game mode really speaks to you, you could try delving into it and learning as much about that as you can. And yeah, excellent. Just choose a class, start doing stuff, use /wiki on stuff you don't know, want to learn about more? Absolutely. And getting Mystic Coins is so hard. Yeah, at the end of the day, you're just going to end up buying them with gold. Excellent. Start doing more Condi Hollow and Open World now to get better at the kit swaps. Slowly but surely getting good with it, and it starts to feel nice. That is great. I do need to mess around with kits on NG a bit more. It's just been one I've put in a bit of the too hard basket for quite some time. Which wing are you going to attempt? I'm thinking we're going to do wing 4 and then probably some strikes after that, because at about 8:30 my time I'm going to move over to Path of Exile and do some Path of Exile with Orca, and Exos. We'll make sure we shoot them and invite in a minute. Put them in here. Hey, Gad, how's it going? Yeah, a couple of legendaries is fantastic because, yeah, with the legendary armor, you can use them on any account, on your character. Oh, Count's very loud. Let's just bring Count down. There we go. Making Gen 3 legendary is comparatively easier than other gens. Yes, but not by much, I think. Like, you have less map completion to do. But you're going to be spending basically all your time in End of Dragons, which depends how much you enjoy End of Dragons. And especially with Gen 1 legendaries can be very easily... It's only really favor you need. Yeah, it's only really favor. So you're just going to be farming some meta events for that. I'd say they're easier, but especially with the Legendary Weapon Starter Kit, that makes it much easier, I think. Oh, hell yeah. Cow, the Imperial Everbloom Fusion. Brilliant. Yeah, I need to get that on my EU account. Should be able to get that in about a week or so. If you never tried a raid, is Wing 4 the one to join? Wing 4 is one of the good ones to join because it is one of the easier ones. Yeah, not too hard, not too easy. Yeah, it's a good engaging one. It's one of my favorite introductory ones. That and Wing 1. Love it. Loving the fashion. So you go from like serious fashion to his Winnie the Pooh with angel wings. Let's see what else is actually chilling in my bank that I can liquidate. And yeah, even though you need fewer Mystic Clovers for the End of Dragons legendaries, you still need a lot of other materials, so the gold cost sort of just gets shuffled around between different areas, so they're comparatively around the same price.
For a mouse.
Oh, so you acknowledge I've done things now.
Good, let's actually liquidate all of these. And PD will come online in a bit. He's probably just doing his starting soon shenanigans. Yeah, because we are going to need of gold. And depends if you like the look of the End of Dragons or the Aurine legendaries as well. Some of them I quite like, where some of them I'm a bit indifferent on. I really enjoyed the Generation 1 legendaries. PD is in. Let's keep an eye. Orca's here. Exos is here. Perfect. Okay, so slots are now open. If anyone wants to join, join on up there. Welcome on in, everyone.
Hello, hello, how's it going?
That's going very, very well.
What are the plans for tonight?
I'm thinking we do Wing 4 and then some strikes after that.
Nice. Can I invite someone that is interested in joining us tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to shoot him an invite. And let's create an invite. Copy. Hang on. Disable that. There we go. Now I've got to turn streamer mode back on. I don't know why it won't actually let me copy the invite. There we go. When I have streamer mode enabled. Okay, let's see. Who do we have? We've got Achilles here. Nice. Slash D. What roles do people want? Need all boons. Cool, yeah. So what roles do people want to play? We need all boons and heals so far. Welcome in, Orca. So yes, if anyone wants to join, you can squad join on the name there. Hey there, how's it going? Okay, let's see. Can do any. Can you a heal? Oh, hang on. Dang it, I've just turned your mic up a little bit.
Do you need quickness DPS or?
Yeah, quick DPS would be great. Yeah, just let me know in squad what you are, and then I will assign icons so I can keep track. Okay. So Achilles will go Alacrity Healer. Go Q DPS. So you say wants to go Q DPS. Echo Cow, if you hand kite, that means you can just stay DPS for now, which is good. Okay, so that's alright. In this case, wing for full clear. I think you play PoE 2. Have you tried Last Epoch? I haven't, no. Heard of it, haven't tried it.
Tonight I'm on power because check what I got. I got a new shiny.
Oh, very nice. Brilliant
Very happy
Exordium.
about it.
Hell yeah.
It's so fancy, so pretty.
And yeah, Orca, can you Q DPS? For full clear. A heal. State roll. Got Eliandra in. Hell yes. Love to see it. Perfect. Let's go Q DPS. DPS plus. Cool. I'll wait till we get an Alacrity Healer. You should. It's on Steam. Oh, nice. You got someone coming in. They released their content schedule for the year and it's a banger of a game. Hell yes. I will definitely have to add that to our list to check out once we have time. So yeah, last chance if anyone wants to join. Just DPS. What's up, PD? How's it going?
G'day, g'day.
Hello, Grito. How are you doing? ¿Cómo estás?
Hola, bien, bien.
Is this NA? Yes, we're on NA at the moment. I'm more casual in PoE too. Every skill is a skill tree. Very nice. TY. All in sub 1 DPS. And that's right, if a spot opens, we'll be doing some strikes after this. I imagine some spots will open, so come on in at that point. And crafting's good, less RNG than PoE. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the RNG crafting system. And that's true, Sparse, about ascended weapons actually having a bit more utility. I actually do kind of prefer ascended weapons.
Wait till you see what I found.
Or at least having a few on hand.
Good question. I don't know, but the answer is most certainly around us somewhere.
Wing for then some strikes. After 3 hours. Cool, yes, everyone head on down. I'll start the boss once we do the ready check.
Strong.
Cool. We got emboldened as well, so this is an especially easy wing to start on. And if anyone has any food down there to pop down, that'd be appreciated. What should one buy from the lunar event? I should get the lucky envelopes from the daily vendor each day. Then you juice magic find after the fact and open them for profit. Once everyone is ready, we will get going. Cool, we got food down there. Nice, like I've got my own food because I've got specific food for this build. And once everyone's ready, I will bring Glenna down. Stability through greens.
All right.
Oh, I'm bringing Glenna down. I only ever get build and equipment templates for getting to raid speed running. No other reason to do so. Generally, for most characters, I won't, but I will fill out my main just for a completionist's sake. And this one, basically just don't stand in the teleport circles. If you get the red AoE, stand on the boss, stand off the boss, off the group.
Do you see that?
On one of those markers. And yeah, this one's pretty chill.
Why don't you? Black Legion, see it done.
Stay away!
If you have that on you, just get off the group. Stand on one of the markers.
Fate, Iron Legion, put your best in. Bring the thunder.
Missed the charge, missed swap, so we're very sad about it.
Cast down the oppressors.
And cool, yeah, we're cranking it in terms of DPS.
This is our fight. Ordnance, infamy. Back me up. Iron Legion, put your best
I'm just going to wait for a bit of energy to restock.
cast down the oppressors.
Cool. Cheeky 37-ish K. Oh, Sarah CM squad win. That is on our list to look at. Like, we may start looking at that. Maybe after the next big patch drops, I think. Slowly develop a need for Sarah's bashing. Yeah, I'm developing a need for it as well. But given we've done HTCM, Ceres will be great. Monster Hunter Wilds, when there's only so many things we can do at any one point. I did see Civ 7's like almost out as well, which I'm super keen for as well. Love me some Civilization.
Oh, great.
But yeah, Condi Ren is good. It is very, very good. Since you didn't get in planned Sarah CM squad, you're deprived of it for now. Oh, sorry to hear that. But yeah, I think after the next patch, that'll be a good time to start doing it. I think at that point I should have capacity to actually look at that.
I'd never go back to jail, and yet here we are. This one's for you, Serentine.
Cool. So this one, for anyone else is new, if you don't have one of the actual mechanics, it's literally a DPS golem fight. Just don't stand in any of the spikes. I don't want to be on DPS. Last Ceres procs card you for life. Impact, what's up? I think it's going to be a bit sketchy after LCM. Oh yeah, it's because Condivert's getting bopped, isn't it? So I should take a look at the kill proof here.
All right.
There's a light breeze.
Cool, there we go.
I see we're late to the party.
Like, Vert's still going to be, like, really, really good. It's not, like, as oppressive. Yeah, and Herald nerfed as well. Yeah, honestly, Herald's still kind of a bit deserved. For how many boons and how much utility it brings. Also, you can nerf its damage significantly. It's still going to be taken.
Let's go dig up something interesting.
Oh, Ventari's not getting touched. Ventari's pretty chill, I think.
I feel like we've stepped into.
Yeah, it's the thing about Mesmer. So much of just the core baked-in Mesmer utility is so good. Is Ventari Bubble getting nerfed? I don't remember reading that. Oh, did it? Okay. Oh, that sucks. Can someone take Protect? Oh, Bubble Upkeep. Oh, honestly, that's probably still fine. It'll be 8 ticks instead of 6. Okay. There we go.
I should try this out. That feels good.
Yeah, the fact that that is only 6 points of upkeep is actually pretty bonkers. It just means you might toggle it a bit more. Which I think that is good. It feels a bit wrong, it only being 6 points of upkeep. Okay, we'll just get the ready check. Yes, please.
I suppose we should have expected that to happen. Sharper still.
Very nice. Look out!
Condi ran so good. And we're getting the feel for the rotation now. It's going to pop down the heel.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
Watch your feet.
Why don't you first?
Stop that anguish.
Clean. And 40k, nice. Don't have any thieves, so I think we have to do the puzzle.
Nice gear. What's this?
Love the feel of Condi Ren. It just feels smooth. Rubble. Got that one. Oh, we actually leave 3 things. We used to leave 2 because of the lag. I think we do most time. Yes, 3 to 4. I know, but yeah, because of our lag, we'd only visually leave 2. I know it's meant to be 3, and it might have actually been 3, but visually I was only ever leaving 2. Weird quirk. Let's see. So yeah, I think there's technically 3 there. Yeah, I think there's technically 3. It just looks like 2 for me. Here for the most part, in the latter part of the fight, when people get lit up by sort of green circles, they need to stack on top of each other, so get off the group and stack on top of each other. It's called the friends mechanic, colloquially. Aside from that, just stack behind him and hit him. Bring a lot of CC as well. And you do get used to the energy constraints, like you learn the energy management after a while. Yeah, some weird things with movement skills and ping. Yeah, like Burning Retreat on Elementalist, I'd always rubber band a little bit at the end. I go back, then forward, and then back. It felt really bad to use because of it. I'm not sure if it still does it anymore. I think they may have patched it, but there's a lot of situations where that happens. And yeah, Rev, you just have to make those trade-offs. Cool, there we go. Just gonna let someone else run in. Aww. And jump.
Back me up! Time for a revolution!
So we actually went down there just before we were going to get CC'd. Strategic down.
Ash Legion, fall in!
Even with that bad start, we're pushing now. Cool, if you have a push Rig'em into the center underneath the boss.
Movements incoming!
Just gonna wait for a bit of extra energy. There we go. It's gonna burn a little bit of energy. There we go, that was the first friends mechanic. Yeah, we're not paying
Executed
attention.
perfectly, if I do say so myself.
Cast down the oppressors. Blood Legion, see it done.
Missing a friend.
Get the res.
This is our fight. Ordnance incoming.
Ouch, it's gonna hurt. Oh, just popped our mic.
I appreciate the help. That fits good. Nice. Very nice.
This is our fight.
Make sure you stack those.
Time for a revolution.
Got the target.
Stack friends.
Ordnance incoming.
Very
That's a cop.
Ray, how's it going? Welcome in. Stack that off, group.
This is our fight.
And thank you, Ray. Stack. This fellow revered his life. It definitely is. CC.
This is our fight. Blood Legion, see it done.
dodge this.
Stack friends.
Sharp blade, sharp line.
Make sure once you get that, you find a spot and stand still. Great dude, what is up? How's it going? Okay, we've got a ton of energy to burn.
Lieutenant, take it. What are you?
Thank you so much, great dude. I appreciate that. Thank you for your sub. No more ads, and
How
enjoy
dare
your
you
wonderful
not
ad
take my
emotes, mate.
money.
Thank you. You're an absolute legend. Excellent, well done. Now for this one, Cal, if you can go hand kite. Now, for anyone who is new to this, the only real mechanic you need to worry about is do not stand in the oil. After 60%, the boss is going to spawn AoEs periodically. There'll be 3 up at a time after a while. If you stand in the oil, it's a big black AoE. It will expand and cover the entire arena, which will get very close to wiping the group. So all you have to do as a regular DPS player, if you're not the tank, if you are not hand kiting, oh, let's just go, is just avoid the oils. That is basically the fight. Yes, please. Did you hear about the insane drama for the 5090? I've seen like a tiny bit of discourse, but I might not know exactly what you're referring to. So what's happening? Cool, that is now there. And also when the NPC shouts to get in the ward, or when the boss starts spinning his maces around in a circle, there's going to be a sanctuary in the middle of the arena. You need to stand in that when the attack explodes, or else you'll just go down. Oh, it's a paper launch, less than 1,000 units allocated to North America. Damn, that is ridiculous. So recheck. Alt 9 clears markers. Okay, look, so thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that.
Oh no, I crashed.
Oh, rip, that's alright. Come on back when you can. Cool, got 32 gold waiting there. Wow, that is ridiculous what they're selling that for on eBay. Always the case with new tech though, isn't it? You're just going to get absolutely scalped. Let's wait for Exos to come back in. But everyone who's coming along for the first time for raids, I hope you're enjoying them. And yeah, like the power creep genie is a little bit out of the bottle now. I think that what they're doing with the current patch is they are bringing some of the outliers in terms of DPS down. But I don't think we're going to be getting back to the days where, you know, top people are doing, you know, 30, 32k DPS, whatever the old times were.
That feels good.
Also, microcode crash. Oof, that's unfortunate. Stand the oil, enjoy the attention given by your squad. Oh yes, revel in the attention. That's ridiculous. You'd never be able to experience those days. It was a very different time. I think like core Guild Wars 2 days, top DPS was around about, you know, 25k or something.
That feels good.
And back when raids went 3, oh yeah, like the game has been so massively power crept down. Also, like, people have also just gotten way better at the game than they were.
That feels good.
Oh, you want to play Release VG, for example. Oh, I remember spending ages on Release Veil Guardian. I remember tanking it on a Rabid Condi Core NG as well. There was so many jank things. And back when Gorse, you actually had to do updrafts, or most groups sort of did them.
That feels good.
I shouldn't be attacking the boss there. Very sad. Oh, yeah, the launch is not sounding like it's going well there, great dude. Few months for RMA's kick into limited stock. Oof. Would you be making a bid for the updated Condi Renegade? At some point, it's a bit far down our list, because we've done like a lot of Revenant ones, and I think the change for this isn't, like, it's a bit significant, but it's not really to the point where I think it warrants an uber updated build guide. But we might do some at some point. But yeah, we've got, like, at least on paper, our next almost 6 months of videos somewhat lined up. Obviously subject to change, but yeah, there's no immediate plans for Rev.
fight.
Courage, resolve.
That feels good.
You're finished.
See, bad legend swap there. Cool, everyone's stacking that if you're not the tank.
Warband in position.
I was desperate and turned to thievery to pay my creditors. But I did not outrun my
Watch for oils, they'll start spawning shortly.
I was left for dead until the Mersan found me.
What'll you?
There's the oil. Don't stand in it. Dodge that, especially if you're near the edge. And I can oil kite.
This is our fight. We are Legion.
Also means I get to like crank damage. Just gonna wait. There we go. Trust in the Aegis. Oh no.
I gambled away everything I had. But they...
Oh well, that's us done. It's a bit tricky being oil cut sometimes. You just have to kind of trust in the Aegis. Oh well. Now we get to sit here and chill. Yeah, it's kind of, honestly, the rotation, it's kind of similar to an old one that I've got up on my YouTube channel. There's a few differences, but it plays very similarly. But also, you can probably even kind of play the same rotation. People, and it would kind of work just fine. Just make sure you always use the empowered Razor Claw after an Ice Razor and you're good to go, or after a Dark Razor's Daring. People still use oil cards? I think sometimes we do. It's mostly because I'm like, oh, I might as well. Also means I can greed DPS. But yeah, there are still really no issues here. Getting the ward. Hopefully no oils in the center. Pick up the demonic tears if you can. Oh, there's people selling pictures of RTX 59s on eBay 5000 to try and mess with the scalpers. That's funny. That's very funny. And yeah, sometimes it's good to just have the oils in a predictable spot. So the last thing you want, especially in a training group, is to have oils spawn right there. So or else, yep, they're just gonna, yep. Yep, so that's what happens when the oils get triggered. That's right, should still be entirely doable. That's looking pretty big. Did Soul die?
Oh, we got all GG, don't we?
Yes. Oh, well, it means we can pump DPS a bit more. Don't run in too far.
Fate, meet fist.
And yeah, we'll see if we can oil cut. Or if it's a bit too annoying, then I might not. But we'll see.
What are you
That
doing?
feels good.
You'll let him out?
Sidestep.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
That's just gonna die to Condes probably.
That feels good.
Ooh, another one going down.
Refreshing. Eat my dust.
Yeah, we had to really delay the start of our rotation as we weren't actually burning energy in the way I thought I would.
Ordnance incoming.
Oh, now it just means we have to sweat even harder. I just want to stay on the boss, actually.
Stand in the war, quickly! I was desperate. Turned to fever to pay my creditors.
Watch for oils.
But I could not outrun the war. I was caught from my crime. I was left for dead until my son.
Oil. Don't stand in it.
Back me up.
Stand in the war, quickly!
That went better than I expected.
Iron Legion, bring the thunder. Blood Legion, see it done.
Oils.
Stand in the war, quickly!
Back me up. What'll you?
There we go. Let's have to finagle some energy. And burn a bit more.
The day became late.
Move, soldier.
Shouldn't have done that.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
No, just a bit of a jank rotation, but we'll get there.
Stand in the war, quickly!
Armored up. That went better than I expected.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
That's a bit big. Not the worst spot for that to be, actually.
Oh, I got a lag spike there.
Oof.
fate, meet fist. Bring the thunder.
So I'll pop the heal down. Let's just target that down.
I was a slave to the law. I lost everything.
Lieutenant, take the field. In the war. Cast down the oppressors. Blood Legion, see it done.
Oh, there we go. We were doing so well. We were doing so well. But yeah, definitely Guild Wars 2's raids are 100% on the easier side. Yeah, I know, we were working so well. And yeah, unironically, that is true. The biggest hurdle is that people think the Guild Wars 2 raids are harder than they are. How do you manage to keep track of your cursor? It's only because I've got it set on the low contrast option in the options here. See, cursor contrast, I can make it high, but that's a bit too big for me. So I set it to low. And then, yeah, it makes it a little bit easier for me to see. And yeah, I wish... And they've done, like... They've released more raids. They've released Wing 8, but... I think the update for Wing 8 just is not great. Because also... Decima is a really fun fight. Ura is pretty fun. Greer is really not. And yeah, YOLO mouse is another option as well, which I've used in the past. Let's grab that.
This all...
Beautiful. With that, I think we will move on to some strikes now after a few minute break. So we'll meet up in Eye of the North, and then we'll start blasting through IBS 5 and see how much we can get through in the time we have.
Excellent chance to get some coffee.
Hell yeah. I'll try making yours even bigger. Yeah, if you can. Like, that really does help. But beautiful. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a few minutes, so sit tight. And we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Cool, we are back now. We'll start filling the LFG again. So we have some spots open. We need some sort of boon DPS and a healer by the looks of what I remember. So let's take a look. We need a Q DPS and an Alack healer. Okay, so let's see. Not raids. Let's go strikes. Advertise. So if anyone wants to join, you can simply join up on us here. Let's go IBS 5. Q, DPS, A heal, state roll. And yeah, the population for World vs. World, just even at its core, if you exclude the people just there for gifts of battle, it's very true, is greater than it is for raids. As much as I love raids, they are one of the least populated areas of the game. But and there are people out there who love the game mode, given the relatively little changes outside of the occasional balance that it's had over the years. Oh yeah, the LFG system needs to be better, and how Guild Wars 2 manages killproof, that needs to improve as well. The LFG is better than what we had at launch, which was absolutely nothing. And back when there weren't so many tabs, you know, it's much easier to actually navigate, but this is a bit of a cluster to navigate. Q, DPS, or A heal.
Hello.
Hey Orca, how's it going?
Hello. I'm doing okay.
Can you Q DPS? Eliandria. Also, Eliandria can go Q DPS. Cald is gonna go A heal. So we just need DPS now. And yeah, it's one of the tricky things with the LFG as well, because raids and Guild Wars 2 have so many niche roles. It makes filling that with some automatic system being really quite tricky. Let's just exit. Actually, no, it doesn't matter. We got Scourge. And even for raids, also a lot of the population issues could be fixed by one, the rewards for raids need to go a fair bit higher for the general player. Especially if you are struggling against a boss. If you're spending a while wiping on that, it's taking a few tries to get the kill, the rewards for raids are absolutely abysmal compared to other areas of the game. If you're doing a full, wing 1 to 8 CM clear, one pulling everything with a mega sweaty group, yeah, it's really good at that point, but for the general player, the rewards for raids are not fantastic, and in any MMO, players are going to be driven by the sheer number of rewards. And Guild Wars 2 would need to do a better job of, honestly, easing people into endgame. Because you even see it with the jump in difficulty from Porteria over to Heart of Thorns, it's monumental. And then the difficulty, like, for open world, sort of almost stays around about that point. Heart of Thorns is obviously among the hardest open world, but even the subsequent expansions are not that much easier. But yeah, I think if they also gave people, once they reach level 80, through the level up rewards, a set of reasonable celestial gear with a reasonable build, they'll be more empowered to actually jump on in and try harder content and not feel like they're just holding everyone down. But it's also a bit tricky because raids in every MMO are typically the highest form of, endgame content, the pinnacle of it, the hardest content in the game, whereas for Guild Wars 2 raids, that's 100% not the thing. I wish Thief beats Power Vote. Take a look, actually. Thief has some monstrous builds. It's just the rotations are, like, cursed.
That feels good.
Okay, even Power Deadeye at the moment's 44.3 versus Power Vert's 45. Like, Power Vert is too powerful. It is, and it's getting righteously nerfed. So we said above button Deimos, every time Deimos says you should never leave this place to Lesio, I hear you should never leave this place to Lesio. It's a frozen pizza brand there. That is amazing. Love it. Yeah, Power Vert is 45.8. Yeah, on the higher level, I was looking at the sort of average number they have down the bottom because I usually think it's more useful. Oh, 100%. People, ArenaNet was, like, you can even see it in the hero challenges. They're marked as group events. And yeah, the numbers are from there. Power Deadeye's 44.3 as the average like DPS benchmark number. So it's a little bit below Vert. Power Vert is too strong at the moment. It just undeniably is. Like Power Catalyst, Power Tempest, Power Vert, they're getting brought down. It's fine. They're probably like Power Vert will probably end up in around about the 42 mark. They probably do in their specific Discord channels. That wouldn't surprise me if they've already mathed out what the numbers are. But honestly, even a Power Vert at 41k is still probably going to be one of the most taken DPS builds. Just theoreticals? Okay. Yeah, like their estimates are going to be better than mine, which are mostly just vibe checks. But even Scourge has a 39k benchmark, and I still think it's one of the top DPS builds in the game because of the sheer amount of utility that thing brings. Yeah, people just have like the theoretical numbers. Yeah, like, you should still play Tempest. It's still gonna be a good build. Like, if your honestly, if your DPS was doing the high 30s, for the vast majority of players, like, it's fine. Just step to the left. So I stepped too far to the left there. Song. I've scuffed rotation.
Iron Legion, signal the city.
Got a mega sweaty DPS player here. We love it.
The time is at hand for reckoning.
Priority strike. Nice. And I'm glad to see the Ranger Spear buffs as well. That's a nice touch. It's definitely needed it. Strike mission, Whisper.
Iron Legion, put your backs into it.
Hey, thank you, Lotus, for the follow. I appreciate you. And how are you going, Lotus? It's great to see you. Thank you for popping in. Cool, let's get the ready check up.
Strong.
Cool. Just kick my computer. I should not do that. Let's wait on Exos to come on in. On Ranger, yeah. You get dual maces. Hey there, Exos.
Vámonos.
This fire's going to be a bit annoying because the constant phaser is really going to hinder our ramp.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
Don't stand in the chains. I won't cross those chains.
Warband in position.
I hate that attack. It just stands to interrupt your rotations.
Iron Legion, put your best into it. Blood Legion, see it done. Time for a rebel.
I do think Herald needs incoming DPS nerf. Probably yes for Condi Herald. I don't really love it for Power Herald. Because Power Herald doesn't really have amazing DPS. But honestly, even with it, it's still going to be absolutely amazing. Like, Herald's still probably going to be taken just as much. Because yeah, it's just so easy to provide boons on that compared to other classes. For such a wide radius and such little effort. There we go. But yeah, overall, like, everything in the game needs a nerf in some capacity. It's just a question of how much they bring everything down by. But they're doing little bits and pieces here or there. Yeah, it's one of the most oppressive specs in the game in its role. Yeah, it is the quickness DPS build. Like, if I'm asking for a Q DPS, I'm expecting a Herald. I'm surprised when I don't get it. Yeah, it's mainly the damage buff and passive strength is getting nuked. And the sheer amount of might, along with all the other boons that it can pump out, it's so unreasonably good. Especially for the general player as well. Like, Herald is the Condi Vert of the boon builds. It's incredibly easy to execute. For no effort, you easily overcap quickness and so many other key boons that other classes have to work for. You can basically just throw it in any group and then you're going to have perfect boon coverage for no effort. Whereas Condivert's basically that, but for DPS. Get a very easy playstyle, very durable, tons of utility baked in. That's Herald, but with boons. So if people think Condivert needs a nerf, and Powervert, which they do, same logic applies to Herald. Let's wait on everyone to come on in. I wish here it honestly just gave you the buff at the start, because this here, in every group you find, it burns time. Whereas everyone's going to get it. I should be like, if you have the mastery, you get the buff. Oh, Citadel Bombardment on those two. Hot damn. That's a good skill. Yeah, just kill that there.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
Nice, not too bad. Got an ad for the new Captain America movie. Damn, the Spanish dub voices do not fit at all. I'm curious to see how the new Captain America movie pans out. I haven't been enamored by the trailers for it. I'll see it, but yeah, I'm not sure. And yeah, great point there, Guard. Yeah, it is easier just to stack in the one spot. Okay, Brainy now. Oh, let's go talk to NPC.
That feels good. Eat my dust.
Go get all the things. Right here. There we go, they're coming on in. Now I've got to try and not get trolled by the ice comments at the start. Or else, yeah, we're just going to be frozen, our DPS is going to tank, and it's going to be very, very sad. So that's our goal, is not to be hit by that.
That feels good. Armored up.
This is our fight.
There we go, able to somewhat land our burst. Still a bit scuffed. Sidestep that. Relevant, how's it going, mate? Great to see you. Now I just have to wait. This part of the fight's so annoying. Yeah.
Time for a revolution.
Yeah, I'm going very well, thank you for asking. We're a bit tired today. We got a bit of a dodgy night's sleep just because of the heat here, but we're going okay. So if I do zone out at various points, it's just our brain struggling a bit to catch up.
Refreshing.
Dodge.
Fate, meet fist.
Nice. Oh, is Shiro, Jealous, Power, Quick Arrow good? No. It's always been bad. And it will always be bad. Looks like he's showing if base warm weather while we freeze. Warm weather would be good, but when it's plus 40 degrees, and that's just terrible. That's the other side of the coin. Yeah, honestly, it's playing Herald, but without all the things that make Herald good. Because for almost negligible jump up in difficulty, you can play like Jealous Glint or Shiro Glint, and you provide so many more boons and your build's better in every single way. Are you playing Sword? You get the down range or amount of might. But it feels like they didn't want people to play Heralds anymore. No, I think like they want people to play Herald. They want people to play every class. Like that's what they want from a design perspective. Just honestly at the moment, like Herald is the oppressive boon class. It is the condivert of the boon builds. And like Chronomancer's next in line, that's also getting bought by some of the dagger nerfs. Yeah, they don't want Herald to be the correct pick in every situation, which is kind of what it is. Especially when you have the option of Power Herald and Condi Herald.
Give me that. You stay put. Be careful up there. Conditions have gotten worse since Bangar left. We'll have to find another way up.
And also, at the moment, all boon builds are ridiculously overtuned. More so than the actual DPS builds themselves. That used to be the case that, boon builds would be doing about, sort of the mid 20k in terms of DPS. That's so far gone now. And especially the sheer amount of DPS they contribute to the group. And see, what Firebrand has a ton of boons, but it's much harder to apply them because they get applied in a much smaller radius, whereas Herald does it 600 radius around it, which for context, if you go stand in Harvest Temple, it's a quarter of the size of that arena. Like, I love Herald, it's one of my absolute favorite builds in the game, but yeah, it's the default quickness build, it just is. It's like, I want good DPS, I want incredible CC, which good lord Herald has insane amounts of CC, and absolutely mental amounts of boons. Like, and you had Quickness Daredevil pushing 40k DPS, and still no one ran it, because Herald, even though it was only, round about sort of 30k-ish for most sort of people, a solid 25% lower didn't matter, provided so many more boons, provided so much more value to the group, people just took that. Chrono's the best booner. Yeah, Chrono, in terms of pure flexibility, it is, and it brings a huge amount of utility. Like, Chrono is more difficult to play than Herald to get the most value out of it, whereas Herald, you sort of just pulse your upkeep, your impossible odds, your vengeful hammers, your glint shenanigans, and boons. Whereas Chrono, you have to work for it a bit more. Click. Whereas Herald just does so much. The ratio between effort and output's a bit off, and that's a really hard thing to balance for as well, because you don't necessarily want the highest difficulty classes providing output that is, you know, commensurate with that level of difficulty, or else you just have things like Catalyst or Staff Axe Mirage being just biblical levels of DPS, whereas you need to keep things in a sort of like reasonable range. So there is always going to be that sort of that discrepancy in class where some are just easier to execute and get like a functional level of output for, and those are going to be the ones that people tend to gravitate towards, at least disproportionately to a lot of the more difficult classes. But then it just becomes a question of which playstyle do you enjoy. Some people enjoy the slightly more involved playstyle. Yeah, even Condi Herald is not the most difficult build, but it's more difficult than Vert. But I still love playing it.
But no change in the storm.
Okay,
If someone's responsible, it wasn't that thing.
EOD plus Soto dailies. Yeah, and having a lot of variables to tweak is always going to be a pain to balance. It is, yeah. Like, I think if DPS builds are within a sort of reasonable range of each other, somewhat factoring in, you know, the difficulty to execute and the utility they bring, the overall power budget, which they've mentioned before. Same with the boons, and honestly, it's probably fine. You don't think effort should scale proportionally to DPS? Yeah, I do not think it should either. Like, I'm fine for a little bit extra DPS and a bit of extra utility, but you don't want... Or else you'd have, yeah, Catalyst just pulling like 50k DPS and everything else pulling 35, and then you end up in a really weird spot.
The vigil will cure what ails this world.
EOD plus Soto dailies. What are the dailies?
Are we doing anything more, or...?
Yeah, we'll do the EOD and Soto dailies.
Okay.
So it's Aetherblade Hideout.
Antique Summoning Stone, check.
True. I have forgotten that across multiple accounts.
To be fair, I've missed the past several weeks.
They're not actually like...
Giving away money.
They're free gold, but they're not what they used to be.
Well, neither am I. Does that mean you're just going to stop? Anyway.
Oh, you make up for it with your magnanimous personality.
That's not even my title. I do have that, though.
And the best ratio in terms of effort and output, like, if you had, like, even hypothetically, if you had, well, probably end up being the case, if you have Power Virtuoso and Condi Virtuoso doing around sort of 41 to 42k DPS, when they're relatively easy-ish builds to play with a high level of utility, and then if you had your slightly more selfish builds pulling 45, 46k, I think that's a pretty good ratio. Very nice. And yeah, like if you have very kind of selfish boon builds like Deadeye, which does quickness, fury, and might, no real defensive utility through it, and if you have that pulling in sort of the high 30s, and you have something like Herald being in the, you know, high 20s, low 30s, then I think that's fine. It's about having that mindset and skill we're balancing. Like, every class sort of has its... They've mentioned before, but yeah, they like to think about it in terms of, you know, the power budget of each class. How much can it bring? Mesmer has an insane power budget because, one, it offers absolutely crazy levels of DPS. It's ranged for the most part. You have insane utility because it's Mesmer and so many other just useful skills. For something that's that powerful and that easy to play, it shouldn't have as high of a DPS benchmark, but you don't want it to be too low or else no one's going to bring its DPS. But around sort of the 41k, I think is fine. like, balance at the moment, aside from the fact the game has been very much power crept compared to where it was, overall balance is pretty good. There are a few outliers, and honestly, Herald and Virtuoso are kind of the two outliers that really kind of do need to be brought down for the general player anyway. Like, those are the ones that really stand out as problems for how powerful they are. As much as I love both those builds, my last build guide was Power Virtuoso. I've done Condi Virtuoso as well. I've made like a bajillion Herald build guides on YouTube. I love those builds. But I love them because they're ridiculously strong. Like, disproportionately so. Like, at the moment, if I'm thinking about what do I want to bring just like the most utility, the most damage, range, survivability, all that, it's just like, why am I not running Power Vert?
We should finish this now.
Like, and if I want to maximize my output in this game, why am I playing Condi Renegade when I could be playing Power Vert? I'll do more damage and I'll have more utility.
Spend a few years in the mist. You meet the most fascinating people.
And yeah, it's okay that there is variety and a range in the amount of damage that people do, because for the general player, whether your build by when piloted by the best players in the game does 41k versus 45, 46k, it's meaningless because you're not doing that damage. Only they are. It's like if you're like, real issues are when, oh, your DPS build does like 35k when every other DPS build does like 45k. That's when, okay, there's a big problem. But if you're within a few thousand, the distinction is meaningless for most people. Do you think Cat is over-nerfed? And Catalyst has always been a bit of a weird one, where it's sort of existed towards the higher end of that level where, yeah, it's hard, and not many people play it, but it performs disproportionately more. I think, like, Catalyst... So Catalyst actually brings a ton of boons. Like, Catalyst, I feel like, should be doing around 43, 44, just based on current balance. At that point, I'd be like, yeah, that's about right. I'm not sure what the number's actually going to be. Oh wow, my rotation's just scuffed. And Helly, welcome in. You're a new player. Wondering which classes, in your opinion, are the most fun? A remarkable question. Again, that's very much personal preference and subjective, but for me, I love almost all Revenant builds. I love Herald because it's insanely durable and it feels good to pump out tons of boons to people. I love Renegade, which I'm playing now for the smooth looping rotation and the great variety of skills. I love Vindicator because you get to Mario stomp all over mobs. I absolutely love it. Love a lot of Necromancer builds. Reaper's fantastic, feels very satisfying to play when you can spin to win with your Reaper Shroud 4 just through mobs, feels fantastic. I love Scourge because you can just throw down tons of Condis. Harbinger's great mobility. I love Daredevil. Daredevil's a really fun one. I love the dodging baked into that build. Mesmer. I really like Virtuoso and Chronomancer. Chronomancer I think is probably more fun because there's a lot more, I think, skill expression in it. Scrapper I really like as well. But for the build that I would say is the most fun, I would probably put it on, like personally, I'd go Vindicator in open world with a stamina sigil. Because with that sigil, every time you kill a mob, your endurance refreshes. And when your endurance refreshes, you can dodge again, and dodging on Vindicator is such a huge portion of your damage. It's incredibly fun. But yeah, if I was to go through each spec, each class, and say which is the most fun, in my opinion, for Revenant, I would go Vindicator. For Warrior, I would probably go... I think actually Berserker. I was going to say Spellbreaker, but Spellbreaker it's kind of the one that I bring the most if I do play Warrior. It's not because it's the most fun, it's because it's probably the most user-friendly, but that's a bit different to fun. So I'd probably say Berserker because, yeah, just spamming Eviscerate constantly feels great. On Guardian, I'd say Dragon Hunter, I think. The insane burst you can pull off with Dragon Hunter, just laying down all the traps and seeing everything get nuked, feels fantastic. Absolutely love that. On Thief, I'd say Daredevil, I love. Like, Bounding Dodger on Thief just feels fantastic. I love Staff as well as a weapon. On Ranger, we'll go over this side here. Ranger, I'd say probably Soul Beast, I think, just because the incredibly satisfying burst damage that you can pull off. I really like that. Engineer, Scrapper, being able to get the zoomies with super speed is fantastic. In terms of, yeah, Mesmer, I've already mentioned, probably leans more towards Chronomancer, I think, because the sheer variety of things that you can do on that class. Is that on me? Nope, it's not. The boss is going to die anyway. Necromancer, I'd probably say Reaper. And Elementalist, I would say... it'd either be Tempest, because the huge AoEs, or probably Heal Catalyst, because you're just cycling through your elements. You're using every bit of your kit, and you're providing so many boons at such a wide range. It feels very good to play. Oh yeah, Fresh Air Tempest. Fresh Air Tempest is so good. I absolutely love Fresh Air Tempest. In terms of what I think is fun, fun for me is a class that I can feel powerful while playing, which that sort of comes in from having a sort of good level of baked-in survivability, whilst having a relatively easy to execute rotation that's either easy to execute or hard to mess up or easy to recover from. Because if you have a build where one mistake just sort of breaks everything, this is the case of a lot of the more recent Thief builds with Axe and Spear. If you mess them up, it feels really, really bad, and I think Condi Druid's also one of those as well. That doesn't feel fun. But yeah, if it has good feeling skills, if you feel strong while using it, then it's a fun build. I've been going, if thinking about what to do for a first class, you've been thinking about Elementalist. Yeah, I think that's totally cool. Like, my personal recommendations are Guardian, Necromancer, and Ranger for, like, you know, first classes. But if you play Guild Wars 2 long enough, you'll have one of everything. So just play the class that you enjoy the style of the most. That's going to give you the most enjoyment in the long term. And I've got 25 characters on this account. I've got 24 characters on my EU account. I'm always cycling between characters. So yeah, there is no bad choice. Play which one you enjoy. And you can also go into the PvP area as soon as you complete tutorial mission. Everything will be unlocked for your class. You can try it out at level 80. Everything unlocked. And if you like it, keep it. If you don't, you can delete it and try it again later. But really, there is no bad choice. Isn't Daredevil immune to most things 80% of the time? You are dodging a lot of the time, but you're not immune. Because yeah, there are mechanics that are unavoidable, but also the fact you have to control you have to control where you're dodging, because you also want to try and land your dodge on the boss as well. Only bad choice is playing a class you don't like. Yes, that is a very base take. I'm just wondering how fun Ellie will be while leveling. I think Ellie will actually be very fun while leveling. One of the most notoriously fun Elementalist builds is just running like Dagger on it. And Dagger Elementalist feels like a very fun class to play. Okay, let's try and actually perform a somewhat reasonable DPS rotation here. There we go. We're actually doing much better now.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
Break that bar. It's a very fun boss for Herald, because the boss actually has long enough phases where you can ramp up your damage. And yeah, I kind of agree with you there, Fermi. Necro's a very fun class once you get its elite specializations, I think. It's not a particularly fun class while leveling. Core Necro I don't think is particularly fun.
Iron Legion, put your best in. Bring the thunder.
And this is a really weird one here to dodge. Can I dodge it with this? Let's find out. Oh, we can. Sweet. Hard to actually land the dodge on that. Just gonna build up some energy. There we go. We didn't activate our Malik's Elite. No, that's going to tank our damage so badly.
Freedom must be earned, not given.
Sharp blade, sharp mind.
Let's see if we, I think if we, as long as we don't really mess up our rotation, we should be able to stay top DPS on this.
This is our fight. Blood Legion, see it done.
Oh, sit on bombardment feels so good. Try and dodge, it's round about there. There we go. That's slightly different dodge timing than a lot of other mechanics. I always find that one a little bit weird. Oh no, our food! Unironically, our food! Ah! Our toggled walk. We've lost our position on the keyboard as well. Hang on. Our Condi should have ramped enough, honestly, where it's kind of fine.
Lieutenant, take the field. Freedom must be earned, not
We thought we were in the wrong legend. Oh well.
Iron Legion, put your best into it.
Let's go break the bar.
Legion, fall in.
Damn, yeah, we fumbled that rotation quite hard. We ended up on the wrong weapon now. Oh well.
The time is at hand for a reckoning.
Ah well, we'll settle for second.
See it done.
Excellent. Well, thank you all very much for that. Great work there tonight.
You get.
Compared to raids, they're relatively chill, so that's good. Part-time catching up, yes. But excellent, thank you all for that. We'll catch you all next week. We'll leave that there for tonight. And yeah, in a bit, we'll head over to Path of Exile 2, Orca and Goddess, if you are keen. I'll be over there in about 20 or so. Excellent, no worries. We'll catch you over there. Catch you later, team. Okay, let's go. Do I have gathering tools on this character? Where are my gathering tools? They're on my thief. Don't know why they're on my thief. And thank you, Achilles, for coming for that. I appreciate that. That was a great time. Okay, let's go find our thief. Where is it? Here it is. And yeah, I completely agree, Fermi. You'd say the two overall improvements... yeah, so you're saying the two overall improvements done that were changing boost gear to Celestial and making stat selectable gear more accessible. Yes, they were huge changes for new players that overall have made people's life far, far easier. I'm just going to find a full home instance if there is one. So I can gather that. Full home, there we go. Join. But yeah, one of the best changes they made for new players was actually changing the gear you got from the level 80 boost from Soldier's gear, which is among the worst set of gear stats in the game. And I completely agree with the earlier point. I even mentioned this in one of my past YouTube videos, that most of the gear stats in Guild Wars 2 are a complete trap and serve basically no function. There's only really a handful of stats that are actually useful. The main ones will be Berserkers for power builds, Assassins for power builds if you need a bit of extra precision, you'll have Vipers for Condi builds, maybe Sinisters if you want, well, if you're capped out on condition duration, you'll have Harriers for healers, Givers for healers, Minstrels for healers, and Celestial for those jack of all trades builds if you want a really tanky Condi build. Outside that, the vast majority of these here are fundamentally useless. Oh, and thank you, Fermi. We'll check that post in a bit. But yeah, so many of these stats, like soldiers in particular, power, toughness, vitality, absolutely useless. Power is useless without precision and ferocity. So that it's just bad. Don't ever pick it. And Marauder for World vs. World, yeah. There's only a handful of stat types that are actually useful. Diviners as well, and there's Ritualists, like... yeah, there's so many of them there that are just not relevant at all. So it's actually really hard for a new player to be able to look at that and go, okay, what stats do I want? Like, how do you know that? You have no idea. It floods you with too many choices and too much information. It's one of the most common things. You give someone too much choice, and rather than making a choice, they'll just make no choice. So I think one of the best things they could do, just to overall improve the just new player experience in Guild Wars 2. When you level up, you will get various pieces of exotic gear. Now, the exotic gear is not level 80, it's like level 75, low 70s, or something like that, and it is of a fundamentally useless stat for the current state of the game. The gear you get as you level is basically just trash. It doesn't serve any real purpose anymore. If they were to just go through and do a simple pass over the level up rewards, and if they made it so you got a set of celestial gear similar to what you get from the level 80 boost, people would be in a much better spot, because all of a sudden they would at least have a somewhat coherent set of gear to work with. Now, even if they didn't want to step on the toes of a level 80 boost, if they made it so instead of a level 80 set of exotic gear, if it was a level 78 or 79, so there still was that little bit of a stat distinction, like, I'd be totally fine with that. But just making that change, basically by that point, everyone, when they reach level 80, they will at least have a functional set of gear, and even better if it was able to give them somewhat of a build recommendation, which it kind of does with the level 80 boost. It will equip you with a build. It won't necessarily be a great one, but it will at least be somewhat coherent. Because yeah, if you've gone through and leveled up, like, quite often what you'll see for even a lot of content creators from other games that come back to Guild Wars 2 after a while, it's one of the most common things you'll see is they'll have a mix of fine masterwork rare gear with indiscriminate stats, with upgrades that don't match because the system's not really that well explained to people, and they'll be struggling with different areas of the game because their character just will not have gear that's appropriate. Whereas if, when everyone reached level 80, if they at least got a semi-functional set of gear, like Celestial, or maybe some new stat-reduced type of Celestial, like a level 78 or 79 version, that would be a huge improvement to the new player experience. Because yeah, there's so many... Let's take a look here. You know, like, I've got so many stat types here I need to look through as a player, let alone runes. Then I also need to know the piece of information that for your runes to have any real impact, you have to have all the same type, because these bonuses, you don't just get all these bonuses from one rune, you get, you know, for Rune of Mercy, you get 25 toughness for one, you get 25 toughness and 35 healing power when you have two, you have 25 toughness, 35 healing power, and 50 toughness when you have three. You'll only get all these bonuses when you have all six. So one notorious thing you see people do is they have one of each type of rune, different type, 6 different runes, thinking they get all 6 of those stats, like all 6 of those stats across 6 of those runes, whereas no, they're only ever getting the first stat from each rune. So they'd be getting 25 healing there, 25 condition damage, and because all the big bonuses are at the end, their build is just not bricked, because you can salvage it easily, because it's incredibly easy to re-gear in Guild Wars 2. But they're off to such a harder start. And that's true, yeah, gearing Condi is much harder than gearing a power build. So I always recommend that new players gear a power build, because you can also buy power gear incredibly cheaply from the trading post. Again, pro tip, if we come to the trading post here, if we want a set of Berserker's armor, I talk about this one all the time, but if you go... open up the trading post, come to the buy items section, click on the little filter here, press power, precision, ferocity. You can set that, just leave that, it'll default to whatever class you're on. Set it to exotic, set it to level 80, sort the price from low to high, and then bam. For my thief, I could buy a set of Nika's leggings, full set of Nika's gear for about 6 gold all up, and it even has an actually functional rune in here. This is an okay rune for a power build. So you can just buy this, and then you can go and get yourself some accessories as well. Here you'd buy some ruby orichalcum earrings, get some amulets, 1 amulet, get 2 rings, and you're off to the races. Whereas if you just had the hodgepodge of gear that you get from leveling and using the level up rewards, you're going to be a fraction of the power compared to what you are. Whereas yeah, Condi, you want Viper's gear, which that's typically, that stat type was only ever introduced in Heart of Thorns, the first real expansion for Guild Wars 2. And they've introduced more methods of it. More methods of acquiring it through various stat selectable methods. But if I was to do the same here, let's check. Let's go trading post again. If we want some Viper's armor, this part's going to sting. Now I know there are a few stat selectable pieces or unique items that can sort of fill this spot. But for basically doing what I did there for Berserker's gear, if I was to do probably precision, condition damage, expertise, total price low to high. Trinkets are about the same. They're oddly okay. Then if I was to come to chest, instead of 1 gold a piece, we're talking 8.5 gold a piece. Now you multiply that out over 6 pieces of gear, that is steep. Let alone like so many of the runes as well you typically want for a Condi build are really expensive. And then even if you, doing it again, if you even go the step further and go, oh, I want a tormenting sigil on my build, that's quite a common one. So if I go sigil of tormenting, where even is it? Sigil of Torment. There we go, Sigil of Torment right there, 12.7 gold. You compare that to a Sigil of Force. Why is the trading post just being a bit jank? Sigil of Force. Okay, there we go. So instead of 12.7 gold, it's 2.3 gold. A fraction of the price. Power builds are so much cheaper to gear for newer players especially than condition builds. So yeah, even if people got a set of Celestial gear from when they leveled up, that would get them off to a good start. Or even what I would really like to see is if you get to level 80, you get a chest, and that chest has a set of gear, or even like it could be level 79 gear, whatever, if you want to just differentiate it so you don't completely undercut the armor market. If it was stat selectable and it gave you the choice, you could be Celestial, Berserkers, Vipers, or Harriers or Minstrels or something. So you could get your power build, you could get a Condi build, you could get a healer build, or some mix of the two. All of a sudden, everyone has a reasonable set of gear to start with, and then they're off to the races. And they're actually reinforced by the game that, hey, this is what you should be going for, this is what makes sense to do, as opposed to the lack of information it gives you now. And that's true, yeah, it's very cheap to gear power builds and ascender gear as well. Much harder to gear Condi builds. And true, can you have more than one elite profession on a character? You can have one at a time, but you can cycle between the 3. So here, I'm a Deadeye at the moment. I could change this to Spectre. I could change this to Daredevil. Oh, great, do that. It's your birthday on 22nd Feb. Oh, a preemptive happy birthday. That's awesome. Oh, 35. That's a big one. Congratulations, mate. Yeah, I hope you have a fantastic birthday. But yeah, there's so many new traps when it comes to gear in Guild Wars 2. There's so many stats that make no sense. The upgrade system isn't particularly well explained, so I think that's why the difference between experienced players who have a full set of gear, who have that bit of game knowledge behind them, which typically you may have to go to external sources to find. Go look at YouTube videos or check out some build guide websites, which then you have to track down as well. The difference between experienced players and newer players is gargantuan because they've understood how the game systems work, which the game systems could be better explained, or people's hand could be forced a little bit and be given something that makes sense from the start. And then I also think you'd see more people wanting to dive into endgame raids and strikes and things like that. So there's a lot of changes like that I would like to see that I think would overall improve the new player experience. So I take in this game there are 10-ish stats, but only 5 and 6 are actually useful. Half correct. 5 or 6 are actually useful, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, almost 40 stat types. Only a handful of them that are useful. Like even Zealots. This used to be useful back in the day on healer builds. Now you never run this. Like you just run Harriers. Zealots is now useless. Wanderers, useless. Vigilant, yeah, yeah, Burmy, you mentioned this one. Power, toughness, concentration, expertise, just no. But these are just a... You count Celestial as this... Oh, did I count Celestial as useless? No, Celestial is great. No, Celestial is awesome. But these are all the stat types. And so for stat... Think of these are prefixes of gear. When we say gear stats, we're referring to the combination of, stats here. Power, toughness, vitality is... Well, that's Sentinel's gear. It's also on soldiers as well in different amounts. But yeah, in terms of, like, your stats, where's Celestial? It literally has them all. Yeah, here we go. Here's all your individual stats. Power, precision, toughness, vitality, ferocity, healing power, condition damage, concentration, expertise. All the stats in Guild Wars 2. Your gear is going to have some concentration of them. Usually, sets of 3 or sets of 4. These different sets here, only a handful of them are actually useful. Yeah, there are 9 actual stats and like 40 combinations. Basically, yeah, there's only a handful of these you actually need to care about. Yeah, stat combo that focuses half on DPS or half on healing is just not as good as either. Yes, you want something that specializes. That's why for power builds, you take Berserkers, or you might throw in a few pieces of Assassin's gear if you want to reach the critical cap, because power builds always want to hit critical cap in Guild Wars 2. But yeah, there's really no other sets of gear, or there's maybe dragons. Dragons is a supplementary stat, but you can kind of just run all Berserker and it's fine. Harriers is literally main stat power. Yeah, Harriers is main stat power, that's true. But you get the healing power and concentration. It should get these in such high amounts, and also the concentration, because healers in Guild Wars 2 are generally expected to provide boons. So that's where the concentration comes in. But yeah, that's one of the traps when leveling in Guild Wars 2. There's so many combinations of stats on your gear, so many stat prefixes, whereas only a handful are useful. All good, Exos. I'll be over there in just a moment. A dragon is for builds that overcap crit chance and full Zerk. Yeah, because then you can sub it out for extra ferocity, and you also get some extra vitality as well. So that's super useful. But excellent. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back with some Path of Exile. So sit tight, everyone.